Righto, I am live. So just another one of those how-to videos, champions. Just going to touch the first part on grading. Need to get rid of that. It's a bit bright there, isn't it? There we go. That's better. Okay. All right. So lots of questions about grading. I'm going to break this into a couple of parts here. The first part of it will be on what grading company to use, and I suppose start touching on why. And I think that's the most important question you've got to ask yourself. The very first question you should ask yourself if you want to grade a card is why. There's two answers for me anyway. The first one is why I want to increase its value. And the second one is, I like it. I want to have this card in my PC. I want that card protected. And those two whys will lead you down different paths, I think. So if we go to the first one, and our why is that I want to increase the value of the card, okay? And I want to move it on and get something else from my PC. It really, in my opinion, all of this is my opinion, and I'm sure there'll be people that'll jump on and say, oh, no, that's shit. And that's fine, because we all do things differently, okay? But if your sole purpose in grading a card is to increase its value, for mine, you've got two choices, all right? One is PSA and one is BGS. They're your two choices. If you want to go to a grading company because you like the look of the slab, because this is going to be a PC card, all right, because you just like that card and you want to keep it, and that's cool, then just pick the slab you like the most. If you don't care about the value of the card, don't worry about it. Just pick one that you like. So we'll just go to the first part. We'll do the dollar side of things first. So this site here, Sports Card Investor, it's only got 30 days worth of data, but it's got this really handy little feature here that you can go through and you can look at the value of, in this case, I've got a Ja Morant Prism card because it's got a fair bit of data. Because it's only 30 days, you have to pay for a longer history in this market movers. So Sports Card Investor, just pick Ja Morant 2019 Prism base. All right, so if we look at Ja Morant, the last 30 days, this card picked up around 34, we'll call that, or 35. Around the 17th, started to take a dive, and I'd say that was to do with him going silly on his social media posts. So if we look at this Ja Morant card in a raw, at the moment, you should be able to pick them up for, this is US dollars too, by the way, for around $20 US. Let's just call it $20. All right. As a raw card, this Ja Morant Prism base card number 249, we're going to pick up for about $20. If we go to look at a PSA 10, same sort of dip happened around that time. Is currently sitting at around $90 US. So $20 to buy raw, $90 if we get it to a PSA 10. Grading with PSA Australia at the moment, I think, I'm just guessing here, guys, in that category there would be around $40 Aussie. So that's $28 US, I suppose. So $20 US to buy, $28 for grading. So it's cost us $48. And now we've got something worth $90. All right. So PSA 10. But you see here, he was up around 110 US earlier. That was quite a significant amount more. If our grade gets a PSA 9, $32. So if we paid $20 US for the card, we still paid the same grading costs. We're going to go backwards if we get a 9. The next part of this will be on selecting the right candidates for grading. So a PSA 9, yeah, we'd be struggling. A BGS Black Label. Now, I haven't got a BGS Black Label, unfortunately. Last sold there, 3,700. The reason for that is that there's not many BGS Black Labels out there. If you check the pop count on that, it would be very, very, very low. BGS Black Label is the premier of cards as far as I'm concerned. But we just go look at a BGS 10. Last sold there's not many data points, 270 to 300. Well, that's pretty cool, but it's very, very tough to get a BGS 10. BGS 9.5, we're about $70. So about $20 less or 25% less than a PSA 10. And SGC is another really popular one in the States. We haven't got any 10s sold, pristines. There's a 10 sold for $140 back on the 5th. And then we're around that $60 mark. So clearly, when you just look at these three categories here, PSA, BGS, the BGS 10 Black Label's got the most money. And if you're grading for money and you've got a really, really Mickey Mouse looking card, you'd be trying to get that BGS 10. I'd say 99% of the time, if you've got a really nice looking card, you're better off shooting for that PSA 10. All right, so the next part of the equation, so I think if we're going for dollars, we need to stick with PSA and we need to stick with BGS. The next part is, if we're just grading a card because we like it and we wanted to put it in our PC, do whatever you want. Go wherever you want. Don't let anyone tell you what the best looking slabs is. It's yours. You get whatever slab that you like the best. Okay, I really like these HGA ones, the color-coded ones. And if I've got so many cards. If I was just going to get a card that I wanted to keep in my collection because I liked it and never had any intention of selling it, I'd go HGA. I really like that. Look at that Color Blast card there with the Herbie. I just think that's mint. I really do. That's one of my favorite slabs. But I've got some examples here. So here's a Beckett slab. Now, that's a Beckett slab without the quad grades. All right, that's a nice one. It's Kobe National Treasures, and it got a BGS 9. Now, I really like the Beckett slabs. I prefer the Beckett slabs over the PSA, but that's, again, just a personal opinion. I prefer the quad grade ones, though. Here it is here. I think that's my favorite slab, apart from HGA. I'll get that off the background because it keeps distracting me. So we can see on this one, Beast Mode, we were 0.5 off getting a Black Label here. So that's pretty cool. So that's a Marshall Lynch refractor from 2007, Bowman Chrome. That's one of my favorites. So I prefer the quad grades to the no grades, and that's an option for you. You can do both. If we look at PSA, I don't mind that label. We've got a couple of options here. You can just get an auto grade. This one here, the card got a 9 and the auto got a 10. That's a Herbie. That's a Mahomes 2017 Premier Pink. I've got that Steve Stafford one that got me that one in a break. That only got a 9 though. And there's a Lulu Spectra. That only got an 8. I was pretty disappointed with that. And the auto got a 10. I don't mind them. And if I was grading for dollars, I send 95% of my cards to PSA. SGC, I just don't like them. I don't like them. That's just me. That's a Joey B, 9.5. There's a lot of things going in this company's favor at the moment. Get the light back on it. Their turnaround times at the moment are incredible, right? And they're very, very cheap. And I think PSA Australia on the Facebook page does do SGC. They are really fast and they are starting to get up there in price. We saw here when we look at the PSA 10 for $90, we look at the BGS 10 for $300, and we go to an SGC 10 and we're at 50. So about 40%. Now that's going to be different for every card. That's just one example. Do your research on it. The big benefit with SGC is that one of the biggest times to sell cards is on release. So this week we had Origins basketball and we had Obsidian football. Now, first to market does bring a lot of dollars if you can be one of the first to market. So if you're trying to be first to market with Origins, go to SGC because they're fast and cheap. You can get Express with BGS and you can get Express with PSA, but they do charge you a fortune to do that. SGC will get them back to you pretty quick. You see a lot of these will be the first ones on the market. Other companies along the way. This is BCCG. Look, I'm not going to bag any grading company. You might like that label. I don't. I think it looks cheap. If you like it, cool. There's a couple of Australian companies that if you like their labels and it's going for you, in your PC, get them. It stays in Australia. There's a couple of groups now. I think I've forgotten the names of them already. But, their turnaround's not bad. The slabs look quite neat. But don't expect the dollars to come from not recognized labels. Okay. Basically, and it's harsh, but an unrecognized grading company, you're basically going to be selling for close to raw prices. That's what the market's going to decide. That we don't recognize the grading company. They haven't got the history yet. I'm not prepared to pay the same as PSA. ICG. Yeah, that's it. They're Australian, aren't they? ICG. Is that the one that Benny does? Yeah. Cheap. 4 weeks, $17, $30 express, 3 to 5. They've got some bulk submissions there too. So you got a gallery. Zoom in on that Brady. That similar to the Beckett's label. I quite like that. That ain't bad looking at all. So if I was going to just get my PC done and I like that label, there's no reason not to go to them. But dollars wise, yeah, do not expect. Don't expect an ICG 10 to get anywhere near the same sort of money as PSA or BGS. Hey, Glenn Bain, how you going? We've got a few comments there. Brett Bartram, I only want my cards to go to Beckett. Then only send your cards to Beckett. That's easy, mate. As I said, I haven't got much to say at this point here. This is just getting you to get your head around. One, why do you want to grade? To me, there's two reasons. One, I want to grade to get more money, or two, I want to grade because I want to protect the card and I want to pop it in my PC. Okay, and those, depending on which path you want to go down, that will shift where your focus is going to be as to which grading company you want to send to. If you want cash, to me, still PSA, BGS, or SGC if you're looking for that real fast turnaround to get to market before anyone else because they're quick. If you just like shit, okay, and you like that, cool, get them. If you like HGA and you want to keep, I still think that's a killer label, get them. Don't let anyone tell you any differently. Glenn, no, I went last year, mate, and I thought it was disgraceful. So if it's a good one this year, let me know. I will. I'll head down again next year. It was a shit show. The one I went to, I didn't enjoy it at all. So got to meet some cool people. Going to meet some people from the page, but no, I was not impressed with the one last year. Jason, anyone recommended go through middleman for PSA? Yeah, I mean, it's always the same answer, mate. PSA Australia. Hang on a second. PSA, BGS, SGC, SGC Submissions Australia. They got 7,000 members. I sent a lot of stuff through there. So Lane runs the show. Kyle Maynard is in our group. I think Lane's in the group too. So if you've got any questions, you can just pop a post up. Check this page first, though. You'll probably find the question you want to have answered is already been answered before on this. So rather than just starting new threads for the sake of it, do a bit of research, and you'll find that probably most of the questions you want answered are already answered somewhere on this page. But I send through these guys. They do all the insurance and the shipping to and from the States. So you ship to them with your submission form, and then they send them to the States, all insured. When it comes back, they'll let you know. You pay the grading then, so you don't even have to pay for grading when you first send them. And when they come back, they'll say, right, you owe us whatever, $40 of the card or whatever, and then the postage back $10 or $12 or whatever. CardHub. Oh, it's so spread out, Brent. All the Newcastle guys can get together. So you recommend PSA over than Brady's BGS? I've heard BGS 10 is worth. So Brett, you might have just jumped in a bit late. We did have, so if you go to Sports Card Investor and you come along to Price Guide, I think that's what I looked at before. Yep. And we go football cards. And then we'll try and find a Brady. There's a 2022 Silver Prism. I don't know how much data they're going to have on that one. Let's have a look. But if you find your card on there, mate, so this will give you the last 30 days worth of data. If you pay for it, you get to go to your full history. So that silver currently this month, I guess 15th to the 3rd through the 22nd. I don't know what's happened in the last week to make it go from sort of $12 to $40. That's a raw version of that card. A PSA 10, no sales. BGS 10, no sales. Yeah, not enough info on that Brady card there, mate. Let's have a look at it's probably not the best comparison. So there's this rookie card, Bowman Chrome. Here you go. So that's a PSA 10. Last sold for, that must be a refractor for 8,500 US. This is all US dollars. So yeah, 8,500 for a PSA 10. BGS 10, there's no sales. BGS Black Label, no sales. BGS 9.5, 2,400. So it's quite a big drop down there. If you miss your BGS 10 and you end up at a 9.5, then you're at 2,400 versus that $8,000 SGC. No sales. Yeah, it's the problem with only having 30 days with the data. Do your research, Brett. So jump on and have a look at. It's always going to be the same. To every time I check it out. Basically, BGS Black Label is going to be number one by a long way. Then the BGS 10. This is just what I found, and I'm sure you can find examples of it not being the case. BGS 10 Black Label, BGS 10, PSA 10, BGS 9.5, PSA 9, BGS 9. They're going to be your top ones. SGC, they're on the up, mate, but I don't think you'll find that they will be as high as what the other ones are. Because you are a PC collector and you may not be wanting to sell them, just get whatever label you like. Go through. So we went through some before. I said out of BGS, out of those two choices there, I really like the quad grades over the plainer label. There's a bit of beast mode there with Kobe. I like that. Was my favorite out of these two. There's a couple of PSA labels. There's an auto one and a non-auto one. They're quite nice. I like PSA. And there's a couple of examples of SGC and BCCG. And I don't know why. I just don't like SGC. It looks tacky. Or use that Imperial grading. If you like them, mate, use them. I basically, to get a BGS 10 or a black label, I've never got a black label. I haven't sent a great deal into BGS. You don't see many of them. You need a really Mickey Mouse card to get a 10. It used to be that PSA was a little bit easier to get a 10 than BGS. I'm not so sure about that. The last couple of subs to PSA have been fairly brutal, I thought, compared to what they have been. But they've got some new technology they're using that maybe that's they're just getting more accurate. Sorry, guys, there's a heap of questions coming in. I hope that covers you, Brett Buckley. Glenn Bain's got actual questions. Gonna do the next one we're gonna do, Glenn, is on cleaning. I'm gonna do a whole video on it, mate. So this is part one. This is just sort of sussing out and trying to get your head around why am I grading, and then that will help us answer the next question of where am I going to send to. You know, checking out the raw value of the cards, checking out the PSA 10 value, checking out the BGS 10 value, maybe helping you decide which company you want to go for. The next one we'll cover is cleaning. So PSA, mate, it's on here somewhere. Featured, maybe. Lane's got a heap of videos on this stuff too. Card cleaning, submissions, PSA update. eBay. Here we go. There you go. That, I don't know if that, the 13th of January, so that's going to be pretty accurate. So PSA does it in like what the card ends up with the grade. So it's not the card's worth $20 raw, so I'll put it in the under $100 category. The categories here are under 400, under 500, under 15, under 25, under $5,000, under 10 grand, under 25 grand, and then there's some categories there for older stuff. So the minimum category you can put it in is under 500. If that card grades really well and gets a 10, though, and it's worth $600, they will upcharge you and charge you the $125. So card grading fees for under 500. Is that 13th of January this year? Yep. $65. If you're doing it with the auto grade, $95. The bulk ones, $19.80 to present. Yeah, the bulk submissions are $37.50 a card. All the Newcastle guys will get together and we're just getting stabbed in John Carter. Says the guy from Queensland where they shoot police. No one's stabbing me in Newcastle. John Carter, are you drinking already? It's only it's 4 o'clock. I was going to say, on the piss a bit early. All right, guys, any other questions? The next one will be on cleaning. Or what I do for cleaning anyway. You're not allowed to do Kurt's Card Care, by the way. It's a good website, though. Good YouTube channel. Give it another 20 seconds, guys, to see if there's any questions. I hope that's answered a few of them as to why you want to grade. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks, guys and girls.